What up, folks? We're going to be straight to the point with this channel because we want to get the message in and not make the videos too long. Today we are doing first verse is going to be Proverbs 8 through 10.
Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right. A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment.
All right, so 8 says,
Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues without right.
all right, so for me, what I hear there is the riches mean nothing if they're acquired or they're bought or they're obtained in wrongdoing, whether it's lying, cheating, stealing, vain, envy, these ways that it's not desirable to gain riches. I know that there's some people who don't care as long as they get it and things like that. But when I hear this part of that verse, those verses, to me, it lets me know that the smallest amount of progress or gain in the right way is better than masses of money or things, whether physical or not, that grow my life in the wrong way than that little thing in the right way. And 9 says,
A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps.
So a man deviseth his way by his heart. For me, for example, if someone wanted to be a firefighter and they desire to be this, their heart is putting down the grid. And you got to excuse the camera. I'm not trying to do that on purpose. It's just we're not really worried about getting our faces fully in visual of the camera or anything. It's just this is for the Bible verse. Anyway, the heart is going to be trained or putting out on the grid to be a firefighter. However, in 9,
A man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps.
the Lord, the faith that you have in your God and the Lord that you know is going to direct which angles and which areas you need to be on that grid to the desire of your heart, which also means something else in this verse for me. You can have those desires or that desire in your heart to be something or to become something. If it's in line with God, it'll be. But here's the catch. And here's the thing you got to understand. In that verse, it's a twofold thing. It is 1 and 2. However, if your heart is given to God to start, then the steps are going to be way more in line with the desire of your heart because you gave your heart to the same Lord that's going to guide you to that path. So with that being said, it's in two separate places here, but let's just put in an example of the firefighter. If what you are ordained to be by God is a firefighter, those steps will be more in tune with the God that's speaking to you to get through those doorways and have those blessings that get you to that desire of your heart. But you have to give your heart to God to have those together. And then with 10,
A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment.
So in walking in that grid and that desire of your heart and having the Lord guide your steps, you should also be able to speak what the Lord is giving and offering you to send through you as a vessel. And a person in their walk with God should be able to hear that voice and not your voice. The judgment part to others is when you are there and allowing God to shine through you, but in that shining through you, you enter your own thoughts and processes in to something that you are supposed to be speaking from God. Again, in 10,
A divine sentence is in the lips of the king. His mouth transgresseth not in judgment.
when you're speaking the words that are in line with your heart and your steps in any realm that you're in, Those that hear God's voice can hear God's voice. But once you speak through yourself, you are now judging or sending words through your vessel or your mouth in transgression of other people's pathways. Because now, instead of you saying, the Lord spoke to me, and you say something or give a prophetic word to someone in their path, you're starting to give your ideas and what you think they should do in their path, which would be a transgression against the walk they're having with God. So watch that. It's not that we're not built to judge and call a kettle black or say sin is sin, or the Bible's black and white, but it's very easy to step in to masking what you feel someone should be doing, or the way someone should do something that is not necessarily what God has asked you to say or speaking through you, which would be a false judgment, and you should not be transgressing against, or transgression should not be expressed through your sentence or your speaking, is the way I take that. So Proverbs 8 through 10, riches are better if they're done the right way, even the smallest riches, because the most riches done the wrong way means 0. 9 is the fact that you have to have your heart and God's steps in the same alignment to walk the path correctly, and to have a better and brighter path to walk with the Lord, and letting him decide your steps and having your heart. 10 is making sure that if you're in line, and that when you speak in your walk with the Lord, that you are listening for his voice to guide your lips, and not listening to your mind, because your mind and your heart are separate. And if your mind and your heart are separate, then they can't be in line when you're speaking through your mouth. So you have to ask God to connect those two things together before you open your mouth. So 8 through 10, Proverbs 8 through 10. Y'all have fun. Please respond. Give me your thoughts. Again, we enjoy, and I don't know who's saved, but I am.